So we'll start today with the inventory session, and foremost what we'll discuss is we'll discuss about the item master data. So I'll just open the item master data. So what I was referring at, we'll start with the item master data first. All of us are already using this item master data, but still I'll quickly run you through with this. I've opened up the item master data screen. This is a screen where to create a new item in the SAP, and also we can check the old items that are already created in the database. If you look at the top right column, there are three options, that is the inventory, sales and purchase item. Now if any item we wanted to put as a sales item, that is we wanted to sell this item, we put a check mark against it. If we wanted an item to be a purchase item, that is we wanted to purchase it, we'll click a purchase tab. We'll click a purchase, check the checkbox. And similarly, if we don't want an item to be recorded, we don't want to store the stock for it, in that case we'll uncheck this option. So while we uncheck the option, the system would not record the inventory for that particular item. So I'll just create one item, like for example test 22 item. I'll put in the description. The next type would be it would be an item type. Sorry, the type would be as an item, because I'm not taking it as a labor or a travel. The next part would be the item group. So I'm creating up an item test 22. What is the item group according to it? I may say this is my raw material. So I will define a new group as raw material, and I'll click on add. What is my price list? In SAP there are 10 price lists that we can define in the system. The price list are what is the price for that product. There could be maximum of 10 price lists that we can define in the system, 10 different prices that we can define for a particular item. So right now I'm just taking it as a default price, that is the price list 01, and I'm taking it as an inventory item as well. Now the next important thing is, like, if an item has to be made GST applicable, in that case I'll have to select the GST text box at the bottom right. In the middle of the screen you see a GST text box. I need to check that GST and fill in the required information out there. If the item is not GST relevant, I'll uncheck that checkbox. The next important thing would be the item could be managed by a serial number, or it could be managed by a warehouse. Say for example, if you're looking out for a business process, that has a perishable items, or it has some medicines, or maybe you're looking about something that is related to cold drink kind of a business. In that case, we'll go with the manage item by batches, and according to that, we'll also go with we can also go with the serial number. So if I select this batch number, there would be another option that is coming up. Now, how do I need to manage the batches? Do I need to manage it on every transaction, or do I need to manage it only on the release? If I click on only on release only, then the moment I release the stock, at that point of time system would prompt me for a batch number or a serial number. If I put it on every transaction, then in that case, any transaction where there is a movement of stock, the system would prompt me for a batch or a serial number. The next thing would be, we can make an item active or we can make an item inactive. say for example we made some items and we do not want to continue with those items anymore. So if the item has already been used in the system, we cannot delete those items. In that case, we'll have to make the item as inactive. If the item has not been used in the system, we can right click and we can remove the items. This item has not been added, I'll add the items. This is added now, and if I wanted to remove it, I can right click and I can remove the item. Now let's assume that there was previous items that we have created yesterday and I wanted to remove those items. I'm clicking on remove. It is saying the items are linked to a transaction, so I'm not able to remove those items. In that case, what I'll do is I'll make the item as inactive. The moment I click on the inactive button, the system is asking me, do I need to specify a date? I mean, it is not mandatory that I have to specify a date. I can specify a date that my items would be inactive from this date to this date. So within that date range, the items would be inactive. The moment that date range passes, my item would again be active. Or else I can just ignore the date option. The items would remain inactive for forever till I don't click back to the active option. Similarly, there is an advanced tab. In this, I can click on the date range within which the items would be active and the date range within which the items would be inactive. And there's some more informations that we can fill in that is basically for the reporting purpose. I can fill in what is the manufacturer for my item if it is a manufacturing item. I can even define what is my shipping type that would be applicable for this item. So moving ahead with the next tab, that is my purchase data. So this tab would be holding information about my purchasing information. Out here I can define a preferred vendor, like what is my preferred vendor for this particular item. So if I click onto it, I have a list of my vendors. I can select the specified vendor from this particular drop down. I can even define what is my manufacturing catalog number if this is an item that would be used in manufacturing. I can define a manufacturing catalog number as well. I can define my purchasing UM. I can even define like what is my length, height, weight, volume and weight for that particular purchasing item. Similarly, I can define what is my package unit of measurement, and I can also define what is my quantity per package. The next tab would be my sales data. Similarly, we had the information about the purchase. In the same way, we'll have a similar information about the sales data as well. So while I'm selling up this item, what would be the unit of measurement be? I can define it out here. Similarly, I can define the length, breadth and height, weight and volume for that particular item. The same way I was doing it for purchase, the same way I can define it for a sales item as well. The next part would be an inventory item. Now this tab would only be applicable if I'm selecting the item as an inventory item. If I'm selecting as a non-inventory item, this tab would not be applicable. For example, now in this particular tab, at the top, if I see what is my set GL accounts by, so there would be three basic ways. One is the warehouse, one is the item group, and one is the item level. So we always have to map the item by either one of the levels, and based on this transaction, the automatic GLs that are coming in different documents, be it a GRPO, be it an invoice, or be it a delivery, that would be based on what I selected out here. If I select the item group, so there could be different GLs. If I select a warehouse, there could be a different GL data is coming at each and every transaction.
Manish, at this stage, can we also take up the queries which were raised by Vedanti, which was when we get details, his question was, when we get details of stock of our units, then the stock list shows for some items quantity 0, but there is quantity available, but having values, sorry. Quantity is there. The second thing is the quantity is there, but value is 0. And the third is quantity is there, but value is showing negative. So
Okay.
I'm Vedanti, good morning. Could you please elaborate further on
Yeah,
this?
good morning.
morning.
If you could unmute Giriraj Maheshwari. This was his question from our team. So I
Okay.
think he can.
Yeah, I think he's unmuted now.
Okay.
Yes sir, मैं हेलो
हाँ,
हेलो
आपका क्वेश्चन पूछ लो गिरिराज जी।
हाँ जी गिरिराज जी,
मैं
बोलिए।
कह रहा हूँ सर कि जब हम इन्वेंट्री की हम जब वैल्यू की लिस्ट निकालते हैं ना,
हाँ,
हेलो, तो उसमें क्या होता है सर कि जैसे हमने लिस्ट निकाली तो उसमें क्या होता है कि जैसे हमने लिस्ट निकाल के हम कहते हैं कि उसमें क्या होता है कि हम जैसे उसको सॉर्टिंग की है तो उसमें ऊपर ही ऊपर आता है कि क्वांटिटी तो आ रही है, उसकी वैल्यू 0 आ रही है। हाउ इट इज पॉसिबल कि क्वांटिटी आ रही है तो उसकी वैल्यू 0 हो जाए?
सर वो ऐसे हो सकता है कि जब आपने क्वांटिटी को सिस्टम में इन किया होगा तो आपने दो तरीके से, पहले तो 2 तरीके से इन हो सकता है। एक तो आपने GRPO बनाया और वहीं पे उसको छोड़ दिया, आपने उसका AP इनवॉइस नहीं बनाया। आपने जब तक आप
उसमें नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस है।
ठीक है, मैं आपको दो तीन चीजें बताता हूँ। 2-3 चीजें हो सकती हैं। एक तो अगर आपने AP इनवॉइस नहीं बनाया तो सिस्टम में उसकी प्राइस नहीं आएगी। ठीक है। दूसरा चीज हो सकता है कि आपने क्वांटिटी को इन किया था GRPO से। ठीक है, आपने GRPO से इन किया था, सॉरी आपने गुड रिसीप्ट से इन किया था। आपने गुड रिसीप्ट में जब क्वांटिटी को इन किया था तो आपने वहां पे उसका प्राइस नहीं डाला है।
हमने इन्वेंट्री में गए, इन्वेंट्री ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में गए, हमको लिस्ट निकालनी है किसी भी, मतलब यानी कि किसी भी यूनिट की लिस्ट निकालनी है फॉर ए पर्टिकुलर डे। हमने उस पर जाके क्लिक किया, कई बार आइटम क्वांटिटी आ रही है, इसकी वैल्यू 0 आ रही है, या कई बार ये होता है कि वैल्यू आ रही है, क्वांटिटी 0 आ रही है।
देखिए उसके 2-3 ऑप्शंस तो ये हो सकते हैं कि आपने गुड रिसीप्ट जो बनाए हैं उसमें या तो प्राइस नहीं डाला हुआ आपने जब बनाए थे गुड रिसीप्ट, या फिर आपने उस आइटम को जो सिर्फ GRPO पे छोड़ा हुआ है उसकी AP इनवॉइस नहीं बनाई।
नहीं, हमने उसमें नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस हो रहे हैं
सर। अब बेसिकली
वाले आइटम में नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस हो रहे हैं।
बेसिकली तो 2 रीजन ये हो सकते हैं।
आई थिंक अपन ये कर सकते हैं, इसको अलग से एक बार दिखा दो
जी, ये बिल्कुल ये बेटर
तो एक कोई पर्टिकुलर एग्जांपल दिखा दो, ज्यादा बेटर जा पाएंगे।
हाँ बिल्कुल, मे बी इस ट्रेनिंग के बाद आप अपना सिस्टम दिखा दीजिए मुझको। और
ये क्या हुआ था कि लास्ट, हाँ ठीक है, क्योंकि लास्ट जब बैलेंस शीट बना रहे थे तो हमने लिस्ट निकाली, उसमें क्या हुआ कि कुछ आइटम ऐसे थे जिसमें कि ये प्रॉब्लम आ रही, तो हमने सबको सेटराइट किया हमने।
तो वो अगर अभी भी अगर कहीं हमें मिल जाएगी तो उनको या तो एक बार अलग से।
हाँ बिल्कुल, हाँ हम कर देंगे, कोई बात
जी, आप दिखा दीजिए।
ओके
ठीक है।
और कोई क्वेरी आपकी बिफोर वी मूव अहेड? अच्छा, एक और आपकी क्वेरी थी कि डिटेल्स ऑफ स्लो मूविंग, नॉन मूविंग एंड डेड स्टॉक।
हाँ
तो इस तरह की तो SAP में कोई स्टैंडर्ड रिपोर्ट तो नहीं है जिसमें आपको टोटल मिले कि ये आपका स्लो मूविंग स्टॉक है, ये आपका फास्ट मूविंग स्टॉक है। आप ऑडिट रिपोर्ट से ही
हमको तो चाहिए, लेकिन क्या होता है कि अभी जैसे कारो का नया एक वर्जन आया है 0.0 का, उसमें ये रिपोर्ट मांग रहा है कि आपके स्लो मूविंग स्टॉक, और हमारे ऑडिटर्स पे आकर के कहते हैं कि स्लो मूविंग स्टॉक डिटेल दो।
सर उस केस में हम एक काम कर सकते हैं कि आप स्लो मूविंग स्टॉक को क्या मानते हैं, एक आप उसके बेसिस पे एक रिपोर्ट जनरेट करना पड़ेगा। SAP में स्टैंडर्ड रिपोर्ट इस तरह से कुछ नहीं।
जिस तरीके से एजिंग बनती है ना, एजिंग बनती है ना, वैसी कोई एजिंग बन जाए उसके लिए आपने जो है अपने इसके लिए जो है इन्वेंट्री के लिए
बनाई जाती है। अभी फिलहाल SAP में स्टैंडर्ड रिपोर्ट नहीं है, बट अगर आप अपना क्राइटेरिया बताते हैं तो उसकी एक आपके लिए कस्टमाइज रिपोर्ट बनाई जाती है।
वैसे आपका भी कौन सा वर्जन चल रहा है जिसपे अभी आप काम कर रहे हैं? 9.2 का कौन सा PL चल रहा हुआ सर?
वेदांत जी सर प्लीज
8 चल रहा है ना आपका? ना PL 8 चल रहा है ना?
वो आइडिया नहीं है, बट आपको अपग्रेड कर लिया तो एक बार उसको
हाँ
और
जी।
देख लेंगे।
हाँ, क्योंकि 9.3 के PL 10 में एक इन्वेंट्री एजिंग रिपोर्ट स्टैंडर्ड में आया था, तो जब आप 10 पे जाएंगे तो वो आपको वहाँ पे रिपोर्ट मिलेगा, वो एक इन्वेंट्री एजिंग रिपोर्ट मिलेगा जो अभी
तो
तक।
नए वाले सिस्टम पे एक बार अपन उसको ओपन करके देख लेंगे।
जी,
तो
आप उसे देख सकते हैं।
बैलेंस
And the next part would be, important part would be a valuation method. Like this item is defined as a moving average. We can have two other ways. One is we can define an item by a FIFO, or we can define it standard. This is a one-time configuration that is done at the starting. So whatever, on the basis of discussion, whatever was discussed on that cases, I mean the person who is implementing, he defines the evaluation method would be a moving average or a FIFO or a standard. Basically there are two methods that are commonly used. One is the moving average and the other is the FIFO. If it is a moving average, then I mean it would be an average of all the items. If it is a FIFO, then it would be a first in first out. The thing that was taken in first and the same would be taken out first. That would be a FIFO method. So these are basic two methods that are commonly used. If at the bottom, if we see, I mean there would be a warehouse code 01. Out here the number of warehouses that are there in the company database would be listed out there, and it would show the stock out here. Out here we'll see three kind of stock. One is the in stock and the other would be the available stock. Basically the in stock is the physical stock that is there in the company, and the available stock is an imaginary stock. It is basically, there's a formula that is used to calculate the available stock. It is the in stock plus ordered quantity minus committed quantity is your available stock. Now the committed and order field, they also gets populated. Let's see if we have any of that database out here. See, out here it is like if we see out, my in stock is 108, my committed is 0, my ordered is 166, and my available is 274. Now if I wanted to deliver or I wanted to use this quantity, I can, right now I can only use 108 quantities. I cannot use more than that. So what is this order quantity? The moment I punch in a purchase order, whatever value that is there in the purchase order, that goes on to a order quantity. And once I make a GRP out of a purchase order, that quantity gets, okay, that quantity gets decreased from the ordered value and increases to the in stock. So I mean, was I able to explain this thing, or should I explain it again? Any queries on to committed, ordered or available stock? Okay. So the committed stocks, I mean this value gets populated once we make up a sales order. Once there is a sales order in the system, then my value under the committed would increase. The moment we make up a delivery, the committed value would get 0 and my stock would also get 0. And based on that, my in stock plus ordered minus committed would be my available. Out here if you see in this example, 108 plus 166 minus 0 is 274, that is my available stock. So this is basically a forecasting stock that system is providing, that in the near future I would be having 274 of items, but right now I have is 108 items in my present particular this warehouse. Similarly, if we look at the last column, it is also showing you the item cost. My item cost for this particular warehouse would be 561.3. Now every warehouse could have a different item cost. I can even manage inventory by warehouse. There is a checkbox. If I click on that particular checkbox, there would be few other fields that gets populated. I can even put a minimum inventory, a maximum inventory, and a required inventory for that particular warehouse. So this is what I can do if I click on the manage inventory by warehouse.
There are two questions. Is there any criteria for order label, minimum value, maximum level, optimum level as per inventory management? This is Mr. Giriraj's question.
So that is what I was saying. I mean, if we put the item as manage inventory by warehouse, then we can put what is the minimum level, what is the maximum level, and what is the required interval for that particular item.
गिरिराज जी, आपका क्वेश्चन आंसर होता है इससे यहाँ पे? हेलो,
अलर्ट है वो जो है किसी भी आइटम पे, इसका मिनिमम लेवल हो गया है या इसका ऑप्टिमम लेवल हो गया है, इसका मैक्सिमम लेवल हो गया है।
हेलो,
गिरिराज जी, आपकी वॉइस बीच में लॉस्ट हो गई है।
I think he was trying to imply कि अलर्ट इस पे आ जाए। गिरिराज जी, वही कह रहे थे आप कि इस पे अलर्ट आ जाए जब वो उस लेवल पे इन्वेंट्री पहुंच जाए? I think we've lost his audio. Alert.
I think yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah, how do we get it?
Right. Alert लगाया जा सकता है गिरिराज जी। उसको अलर्ट मैनेजमेंट से कॉन्फ़िगर किया जा सकता है।
मतलब हम ये लगे कि हमको खुद ही मतलब हमको पता है कि ये आपका मिनिमम लेवल हो गया है, मैक्सिमम लेवल।
वही कह रहे हैं आपको कि वो अलर्ट मैनेजमेंट मॉड्यूल से बताया जा सकता है।
ठीक है, तो बताइए एक बार कि कहाँ पे होता है।
हाँ जी, जब वो अलर्ट मैनेजमेंट का मॉड्यूल डिस्कस करेंगे मेरे को बता देंगे।
ओके फाइन।
सर लेकिन इसमें एक लेवल और होता है, डेंजर लेवल, क्या वो भी इसमें लेवल है या तीन ही लेवल है?
सर स्टैंडर्ड में तो यही 3 है आपका, मैक्सिमम और ये रिक्वायर्ड इंटरवल है, लेकिन आप वो एक अलग से यूडीएफ बना के वो भी हम कर सकते हैं। उसमें भी कोई
वो लेवल भी फिक्स
भी हम फिक्स कर सकते हैं, छोटा सा एक क्वेरी लगाकर उसको भी फिक्स कर सकते हैं। So going ahead, the next tab would be a planning tab and production tab. This 2 tabs would basically be used in MRP and production process. So we'll take that into account once we go in with the production training. So moving ahead, next tab. Going ahead, the next tab would be my property tab. Out here we can define different properties for an item. Like out here it is coming item property 1. I can define different properties for an item. Say for example, this is a test 2 item that I've created. If I wanted to define a property as in QC checked, for example, I wanted, instead of item property 1, I wanted to put it as QC checked. So that I can define it. For that I'll have to go to the administration module, then setup module, then inventory. Out here I can define item properties. Then say for example I define as QC check. This is one of the options. Then let's say if it is update, I click on update. Okay. I'll again open the item master. Now under the properties, this particular option would be coming a QC check. So accordingly we can put a checkmark to it, and this could be used in a report format. there could be 64 properties for every item that we can define. This is a maximum of 64 properties that we can define. Moving ahead with the next option, it would be a remarks option. We can generally put in what are the remarks. If you wanted to put any remarks, we can put the remarks out here. And next would be attachment. If you wanted to put any attachment, we can add an attachment to it. It could be some documentation regarding that particular item. It could be the particular photo for that item, that we can do it out here.
हेलो
हाँ जी,
हाँ, ये जो प्राइस का पार्ट थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करो ना इनको। कैसे कोई आइटम का हमारा प्राइस फिक्स होता है, जैसे सेल्स में हमारे प्राइस फिक्स है, या कोई परचेस के टाइम लास्ट परचेस प्राइस क्या आता है वो डिफॉल्ट आना चाहिए, उसके लिए किस तरह से ऑपरेशन
सर वो
होता है?
नेक्स्ट आगे प्राइस लिस्ट में आएगा, मैं उसको भी टेक ओवर करता
आएगा,
हूँ।
ओके।
आइटम मास्टर में अगर कुछ हो तो आप पूछ लीजिए।
How to decide category of an item as inventory item / sales item or a purchase item in case of production finished good.
See,
If there's item, how do you decide whether it's an inventory item?
This is our call, ma'am, because our company will decide this item will be sellable or purchasable item. How?
I mean that's correct, Sanjay ji, but the production item, if any item is a production item, it is a finished good, so it definitely has to be an inventory item, because if it is a finished good and if it is a production item, we can definitely, see, we would not be purchasing that particular item, we would be producing it. So in that case, we can remove a purchase checkbox to it. We would definitely be selling it because it is a finished good. So we need to keep a sales item to it. We would be keeping a track of the stock for it. So we'll also be keeping a as an inventory item. But add
Just a minute. When any item we define, that time we require a proper knowledge about the item. If that item suppose like a raw material item, so raw material will be inventory based also. It is a purchase based also. But sometimes if you selling a raw material to any other vendor, that any other customer, that time you can use the sell item also for that raw amount. Finish item
that's
is only inventory based and sell based. Sometimes with the same finish item, we buy from another company purchase based.
So basically, only if production is happening with some items, then it is inventory item.
so for any item, if you wanted to record a stock,
Yeah.
that has to be an inventory item.
Yes.
If you don't want to
Okay.
record a stock for it, you can uncheck that option.
So, okay.
If you uncheck this inventory item, system would not record a stock for it.
So, say for example, if I want a dummy item to be here,
That-
that can be used in maybe a sales quotation or
That would be a non-inventory item.
non-inventory. Okay.
Say for example, if you can also have for a production process, you have a item that is a very small item. You don't want to, it is a very cheap item. You don't want to keep a stock of it. So in that case also you can have it as a non-inventory item.
Like a phenyl now that we don't keep inventory. There are some
Okay.
item not keeping inventory. But it
So
is
in-
very important at the time of defining the master. Because when you define a master, that time if you not keep on the inventory item, later on we cannot able to change because of transaction happen.
You mean only so their stock is not affected, it's just the value which is being updated here.
Yeah, in that case, the stock would not be taken into account for, only the value would be taken.
मुझे ये भी बता दो इनको कि कभी कोई आइटम आपने बनाया और उसका इन्वेंटरी आंशिक है, बाद में कोई इन्वेंटरी करना है तो कर सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते?
नहीं कर सकते सर, जब तक कि स्टॉक होगा आप उसको इन्वेंट्री या नॉन इन्वेंट्री आइटम चेंज नहीं कर सकते।
Okay.
तो व्हेन क्रिएटिंग अ मास्टर आपको ये सिक्योर होना चाहिए कि ये इन्वेंटरी है, नॉन इन्वेंटरी है और ये सेलेबल है, परचेसेबल है। तो ये थोड़ा सा इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट है।
Thank you.
तो should we proceed further if there are no questions?
How many?
Okay, so I'll move on to with the next topic, that is the price list. under inventory there is a price list. If I click on price list, then there would be a price list. I'll again click on it. Out here in system there could be 10 standard price lists that I can maintain for any item. What I mean by a price list is I can define 10 different prices for any specific item, and I can use that according to my different needs. If I wanted to put any price list on any price for an item, I see the price list 01. I'll double click on that particular item, and all the items that are there in my system would reflect out here. And out here I can define what is my price for that particular item. Say price list 1, I wanted to define it as 100 rupees, test 2 as 150 rupees, and test as 200 rupees. I've done it and I'm saving it. Then in price list 2, I can define this item as say 200, then this as 250, sorry 200, Now let's take up an example. We have these two price lists and we have defined two different prices for an item. Now while selling up this particular item, let's assume that I wanted to sell this item at a price of, there is a customer who really comes to me and I wanted to sell him at a high price. In that case, what I can do is I can go to I'll directly go to the invoicing. I'll go to this invoicing. I'll select my particular customer. Now this price list would get attached to this particular customer business partner. I need to open that business partner. Now there is a payment terms out here. Out here I'll be defining the price list, which is the default price list for that particular customer. I've defined it as 01. I'll click on OK and put it as, so automatically it is coming as test 1. Now test 1 as 100 rupees. Now if I choose change the price list from 01 to 02, I update this. Okay, I delete this and I put it as test 1. Okay, I'll cancel this and open our invoice again. 3001. It is coming as 200 rupees. So based on the price list that I have attached to the business partner, my price would get reflected out here. So does it make some sense, or any questions into it, or should I move further?
नहीं तो जब सेल्स ऑर्डर बनाएंगे तब भी ये आएगा कि जो डायरेक्ट एआर
नहीं, आप जब सेल्स ऑर्डर बनाएंगे तब भी आएगा. अगर सेल्स ऑर्डर बनाते हैं उसमें भी यही
मनीष जी, यहाँ पे हमारा क्या होता है कि यहाँ वन टाइम प्राइस इक्वल टू अपलोड इन सिस्टम.
ठीक है.
तो जैसे हमारा भी प्राइस का सिनेरियो है, वो बेस पे अपना एक्सपेंस प्राइस ये हमारे पूरे आइटम का एक ही ये होता है. इट विल अपलोडेड वन टाइम इन ईयर या मे बी 6 मंथ लाइक दैट. तो किस तरह से अपडेट करें, क्योंकि अभी मेरे पास 3000 आइटम है और 3000 आइटम का मुझे प्राइस अपडेट करना है. तो हाउ
सर यहाँ पे प्राइस लिस्ट है. आपको प्राइस लिस्ट 1 जैसे आपने मेंटेन किया है, आपने इस पर क्लिक किया है तो आपके यहाँ पे जितने भी आइटम्स हैं वो यहाँ पे लिस्ट हो जाएंगे. तो उन आइटम्स के अगेंस्ट में आपको जो प्राइसेस है वो यहाँ पे डालने पड़ेंगे. अब जैसे भी उस आइटम का प्राइस अगर चेंज होता है तो आपको यहाँ पे भी वो चेंज
हमारा ईयरली बेस अभी जैसा ये अकाउंट ईयर चेंज होता है ना, दिन और प्राइस सडनली कम चेंज हो जाती है.
तो सर आपको एवरी ईयर जो है वो प्राइसिंग जो प्राइस लिस्ट है वो अपडेट करनी पड़ेगी.
तो वो जरा थोड़ा इनको एक्सप्लेन करो किस तरह से अपडेट, नॉट इंडिविजुअल आइटम.
Manish, there is a question regarding the same point. from Mr. Sandeep Vyas. Shall we change the price list annually, or what is the best way to change price list?
I mean, see, the price list would remain. I mean, if the prices of the items are changing, in that case, I mean, we'll have to change the price list. If the prices for the items are, I mean, it is stagnant. We don't need to.
हमारे ये बिजनेस में ना ये फिक्स प्राइस है, आइटम्स का जो भी प्राइस है ना हमारा सेल्स आइटम का फिक्स प्राइस होता है।
सर जब भी प्राइस आपका चेंज होगा तो आपको वहाँ पे प्राइसेस में वो चेंज करना पड़ेगा। आप जब तक चेंज
इंडिविजुअल आइटम हुआ तो वो या लमसम अपडेट कर सकते हैं।
सर वो DTW से अपडेट कर सकते हैं। आप वैसे तो चाहे तो आप DTW से सर आप कॉपी टेबल आई डोंट थिंक यहाँ पे काम करेगा, पर देख लेते हैं। कॉपी टेबल नहीं करेगा काम। सर कॉपी पेस्ट भी आपका काम कर रहा है, उससे भी कर सकते हैं।
Manish, there's one more question from Sakshati. Is there any option to fix the old price that we had used before, as current price got increased accordingly, because we cannot find the old price anywhere except the VRR?
This is not clear what exactly she wanted to. I mean, she wanted to change price based on a percentage way or based on any factor. Is this what she's trying to ask?
Akshati, would you like to explain it? I will be unmuting you. Please explain your question again. There's one more question, Manish, while we wait for her. If from Mr. Vyas,
Okay.
if we do not map the price list in Business Partner Master
Okay.
against any vendor or customer,
Okay.
in that case we can charge any other price except this price list fixed against them. Am I correct or not?
See, my default price is coming as 200. Before adding the document, if I wanted to change the price to 250, I can do it. Still, the price would remain as 200 only. I mean, the next time if I again put up a sales order, the price would automatically come as 200. But for this particular order, I've changed it to 250.
So the next question, before that, Akshati, I think you can you have the audio now. Can you speak? Okay, basically she's again put the question here. I want to know what can we see. No, I want to know that we can see our old price that we have used before, as prices got increased by process or by any other factor. In price list, we can see the new price only. For some comparison purpose, maybe reporting purpose, we have to recheck the old price. Then how to do that?
See,
Basically, SAP is showing the new price only. What about if she wants to compare it with the old price?
Okay, if he wanted to compare it with the old price, say for example, now my this is price list 01 is my base price, and I wanted to upload my second price list. So, or my third price list. I'll select the third price list. I'll select what is my default base price. I'll select my default base price list as 01 and I'll double click on number 3 and update it and yes to all, then I'll double click price list 01 is invalid factor. And let's assume I'm putting it as a factor is at 1.5 and I'm updating it. Yes to all. Now I see the price is 01. So this automatically, it converts into a factor. 1.5% of base price list, that is 01. So will that solve her question? Will that answer her question?
मनीष जी मेरे ख्याल से ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट है क्योंकि हम लोग आइटम मास्टर में एक प्राइस सेट करते हैं, प्राइस 1, प्राइस 2, प्राइस 3, उसके बेस पे या ये कस्टमर में प्राइस 1, प्राइस 2 ये एक सेट करते हैं ना।
ठीक है सर।
तो अभी जैसे भी हम लोग प्राइस लॉस अपडेट करते थे उसके गो टू दैट प्राइस 1 ओनली। अभी हम लोगों को हिस्ट्री प्राइस मेंटेन करना है तो दैट केस थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा, ये आगे वो मास्टर पूरा चेंज करना पड़ेगा।
मास्टर के चेंज करना।
जैसे मैं आइटम प्राइस 1 के लिए मैंने एक 25 रुपीज रखा है, अभी मेरा नया प्राइस आया तो मुझे मैं प्राइस 2 में रखूंगा तो मुझे मास्टर में भी प्राइस 2 सेट करना पड़ेगा ना पूरा। तो
बट आप संजय जी आप ग्लोबल प्राइस अपलोड भी तो कर सकते हैं ना।
हाँ तो वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ, तो मास्टर आइटम मास्टर भी चेंज हो जाएगा उसके हिसाब से, मेरे ख्याल से वो नहीं मेंटेन करते।
सर देखिए वो तो अभी आपकी क्या रिक्वायरमेंट, अगर आपको पुरानी प्राइस लिस्ट भी चाहिए, नई प्राइस लिस्ट भी चाहिए।
हाँ तो ऐसा
तो
ये
आपको ऐसा
मेंटेन करना है तो मुझे मास्टर में भी चेंज करना पड़ेगा ना। क्योंकि अभी जैसे प्राइस 1 के लिए मेरा ओल्ड प्राइस हुआ, तभी मेरा प्राइस 2 नया प्राइस है, तो मुझे मास्टर में भी आइटम मास्टर या कस्टमर मास्टर में भी चेंज करना
कस्टमर
पड़ेगा।
मास्टर में जाके आपको चेंज करना पड़ेगा, आइटम मास्टर में तो प्राइस ऑलरेडी
क्लियरिटी होना चाहिए।
There's one more question, Manish, Vedanti. In case some price list has expired, can we make it inactive for the future?
बेसिकली प्राइस लिस्ट तो इनएक्टिव नहीं होती है, लॉक कर उसको बेसिकली डजंट वांट टू यूज इट।
Yeah.
Price list तो ऐसे there is no option for either locking that price list in SAP standard. What we can do is at the time of picking up a sales document, we with the customer will not attach that particular price list. This is one option, or we can block it through a code. We can put a code like price list 01 should not be added in any of the document. That could be done through a small query.
There's one more question from Vedanti. Can we restrict sales order entry or mandate authorization based on discount on prices?
Any specific discount, they wanted to restrict the discount percentage?
Yeah,
Yes.
because authorization.
See, basically, in case I have a price list, there's a discount structure, and if I want to restrict some case, sometimes it could be by mistake that they enter some value or the sale price which is lower than the discount level, or we basically want to restrict that beyond a certain level the discount shouldn't be given.
We can do it, sir. There is an option. With a small query, we can place it, and whatever discount table or scenario that you explained to us, according to that, it could be done. A small query would be required for that. Any
Okay,
further
yeah.
questions or
And
okay? In spite of this 10 price list, system also maintains two other price lists. That is, one is the last purchase price. If I double click onto it, the last purchase price would come out here. This is just, I cannot change any price onto it. whatever my last purchase price was, it would automatically get reflected and it would keep on changing the moment I make up a different AP invoices. On the basis of my AP invoice, this price would keep on changing. And there is one more price list that system maintains, that is the last evaluated price. If there is a process where I can manually change the price of an inventory item. I'm sorry, if I change the price of any of the item, be it inventory or non-inventory, I can change the price for that. And if I evaluated that price, there is a separate price list for that. That is called as last evaluated price. So whatever prices that I've changed manually, that would come into a last evaluated price. So these are the 12 price lists that comes into SAP. 10 price lists that I can change onto, and 2 price lists that is the last evaluated price and last purchase price. So should we move on to the next topic?
Manish, please go ahead and ask the question right now.
Okay. The next part would be my inventory transactions. So my basic inventory transaction would be good issue, good receipt, and inventory transfers. So we'll quickly move through with the good receipt first. Good receipt is basically a document that is I can use to increase my stock. It would reflect in the same way what a GRPO does, that is to increase my stock, but out there would be no reference for a business partner. I'm just increasing my stock without a reference to my business partner. So I just need to select my item, whatever item that I'm increasing the stock for. How much quantity do I need to increase the stock? I say I wanted to increase by 10. I can manually put in the price for that particular item, or I can use a price list. I can use a price list 01, that would automatically give me a price, and I can add the document. Adding the document. By adding this document, the stock for this particular item would increase by 10. Similarly, we have a goods issue as well. That would work in the same way as a delivery document, but again that would have no customer attached to it. I'm just selecting a particular item to it, and what is the quantity that I wanted to make a goods issue for, and I can even put in a price list to it, price list 01, and I'll add that particular item. Okay, it is inactive, it is showing me it is inactive. I'll make that item as I'll select a different item. So while doing this, I've made up a goods issue. So a good issue would decrease the stock for that particular item. Now this goods issue we are also using, in some cases we are also using it while we wanted to have a track of my consumption. At that point also we using this goods issue option. So any questions related to good receipt and goods issue? As there are no questions, we'll move forward. Now there is one more option, that is an inventory revaluation. At any point of time, there could be a scenario wherein I wanted to reevaluate my inventory. Now inventory could be reevaluated in two ways. One is I wanted to change the stock, the other is I wanted to change the price. So for both of the options, I'll have to go to the inventory revaluation. I would be selecting my particular item out here.
Mani ji,
Yes, sir.
अंजुमन फ्रॉम एबीसी।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। Yeah. Please go
उसको ये पता करना था कि गुड रिसीव्स और गुड इशू जो होता है हमारा, तो इसका जब प्रिंटेबल फॉर्मेट आता है तो इसमें हम अपना बैलेंस स्टॉक का भी मेंशन कर सकते हैं ऑप्शन।
सर, आप कौन सा लेआउट यूज कर रहे हैं? या क्रिस्टल रिपोर्टिंग कर रहे हैं या फिर आप क्या कर रहे हैं? पीएलडी यूज कर रहे हैं?
बस मैं जैसे कि मेरे पास मैंने कुछ इशू किया कोई चीज,
तो सर लेआउट में तो आप कोई भी चेंजेस कर सकते हैं,
तो उसका
उसमें
जो
कोई
मैं
इशू नहीं।
प्रिंट जब देता हूँ
लेआउट सर आपके अकॉर्डिंगली डिफाइन हो सकता है, उसमें कोई मेजर चैलेंज नहीं है। आप लेआउट अपने अकॉर्डिंगली चेंज करवा सकते हैं।
ठीक है।
ठीक। So moving ahead with this inventory evaluation, I've selected the item as item number test 22. My current cost is 2,900 in particular 01 warehouse. I wanted to place change the price to 3,000. I can do that. I'll put the price as 3,000. I'll put the necessary GL account to it, and I'll add this item. By adding this item, my price would get changed from 2,900 to 3,000 item. Similarly, what I can do is I can also change my stock to it. My particular stock is 10. I wanted to put it as 20. I can do that as well. So, and I'll specify my specific GL for that. So by this document I can either increase or decrease the stock, and I can also have an effect on the price. I can change the price for an item as well. So any questions on this inventory revaluation, because some of us are already using it, but there could be some of our clients who are not using it. So any questions in this inventory revaluation?
There's a different question not related to this. Can you explain what is the inventory transfer request from Mr. Abbas Agarwal?
Okay, I'll come to inventory transfers. If everything is okay out here, I'll move on to inventory transfer.
But it can be done through this inventory valuation and journal entry.
Yes. Either one of the things would work.
There is the question from Mr. Abbas Agarwal. He's added a few things to it. Can you explain the inventory transfer request? That's the first question. Second is, should we use inventory revaluation to manage difference in item or physical verification?
Yes, we can use that. I mean, answering the second question, I mean, if the stock is different from the physical count, we can use inventory revaluation. There is one more option. I'll add that option as well. There is one opening balance. Yeah. So first I'll answer the first question, that is the inventory transfer request. I'll explain what is an inventory transfer. Inventory transfer is transferring the inventory between one warehouse to another. And before that, there is an inventory transfer request. Say for example, I am one of the branch office, and I require any number of quantity from my head office. So in that case, what I'll do is I'll make up a request, and based on that request, my store people would transfer that particular item to me. So I'll open up the inventory transfer request. From warehouse would be the warehouse where I am sitting. Let's assume that I am sitting at 02 warehouse. There is no 02 warehouse. Let me just create one warehouse. Okay. Now I am sitting at 02 warehouse. I require an item from 01 warehouse. I'll put up the item that is being required. I'm assuming that that particular item is there at 01 warehouse, and I'll make a request for that. Now there could be alert message. If we configure the alert would be coming to the person sitting at the store. He would open that particular alert, and then he'll make up an inventory transfer. In that case, what he'll do is he'll select his warehouse would be 01. He would transfer it to 02. The same items, copy from inventory transfer request. Copy from inventory transfer request.
Manish, there is also an added question here saying that can production person send an inventory transfer request to store based on bill of material of an item?
That could be done, and it would be a manual process. So you can send a transfer request for any of the items.
Bhaji, is that okay with you? Okay. Yeah, Manish, please move ahead.
Okay, so the person sitting at store would make up he'll copy from inventory transfer request to an inventory transfer, and he'll add this one. So there would be a batch. Okay, whatever it is. Okay. So this is how the inventory transfer request and inventory transfer would be working. A person would be making up a request for the items, and the person at the store would be actually transferring those items. Any further questions with this inventory transfer?
Question, Manish. When accounting effect will prove, and at what price? As under GST now, price must be at arm's length, means similar outer party selling price.
So for which particular document is he referring to?
Sandeep ji, can you explain your question again, please? This is from Mr. Vyas. Could you please explain this question again?
So moving ahead, there was one more question asked in for a stock counting. So there is one feature in SAP under inventory. We'll go with that. Under inventory transaction, there is one inventory counting. Inventory counting transaction. If I open up the inventory counting transaction, there would be one inventory counting and inventory posting. This feature is basically used while we are checking, while we are making up a physical stock counting, and there is any discrepancy, either plus or minus. So in that case, we'll use this particular feature. I'll open the inventory counting, and let's assume that this is the item that we're using. And in 01 warehouse, the quantity is 09, and I say I've counted the quantity, and the quantity would be 10 instead of 09, it would be 10. So I'll put the information out here. I'll click on freeze and I'll add this document. Then at the bottom right, if you see, there is an option for copy to inventory posting. I'll click on that. A new window would open up and I'll add this document. While adding this document, now my stock count, which was 9 in the system, would get changed to 10. So I hope that answers this question. Like the stock counting would be done out from here. I mean, physical versus actual would be done from here. And then the same thing, it can also be done with the pricing. We can have 3 different prices. One is by my item cost, one is by my price list, and one is by my last purchase price. Sorry, last evaluated price. So I hope that answers his questions.
Manish, I think it does. Go ahead. Okay, then I'll be ending the session now. Thank you, everyone. Tomorrow's session is on production, where, of course, like we were discussing MRP today, we will be going in depth into the MRP module as well. Thank you.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.